Okay, guys, so Jesus Campos has yet again went missing. As if it was not suspect the first time, this time he's gone missing on the same day that we find out Stephen Paddock's hard drive is missing from his laptop. I myself have always suspected Jesus Campos had something to do with the shootings himself. But they say, the authorities say there's no evidence on that, so there's that. But, I guess we're going to find out now what's really going on. And a key suspect like Jesus Campos, I can't understand why they let him go to Mexico the first time after the shootings. The one person that actually saw who shot him, and they let him leave the country. So, I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like the way it's being pushed, it looks like we might find out. The timelines keep changing, everything keeps changing, then it gets changed back.
We received this document from a confidential source this afternoon. It's a Customs and Border Patrol form, and it shows that Jesus Campos entered the United States from Mexico at the San Ysidro border crossing in San Diego County almost exactly to the hour 1 week after the Las Vegas shooting at the beginning of October. Now, the document does not reveal how long Campos had been in Mexico. Our source told us that Campos entered the U.S. at the same crossing in January of this year. At that time, he was driving his own vehicle with Nevada plates. And yet, in this document from a little over 2 weeks ago, Campos was driving what appears to be a rental car with California plates. Now, this information raises a number of questions about the Las Vegas investigation and the crime itself. Jesus Campos is the only eyewitness to the biggest mass shooting in modern American history. At the time he was in Mexico, the press was reporting that investigators thought Stephen Paddock, may have had an accomplice in these killings. Why did authorities allow Campos to leave the country just days after the shooting while the investigation was still chaotic and, of course, ongoing? How did Campos, who reportedly had a gunshot wound to the leg from a high-powered rifle round, manage to travel to Mexico? Did he fly? Did he drive? Was his employer aware that he left the country? Were investigators aware? Did they facilitate the trip? What day did Campos get to Mexico? How was he able to drive back for hundreds of miles from the San Diego border back to Las Vegas? Why did he take a rental car instead of his own car? The union that represents Campos told us they were aware that he left the country. They claim it was a pre-planned visit. Why did it take a government leak for the rest of us to find that out? Why has MGM been so intent on controlling availability to Campos, booking him on the Ellen DeGeneres show and shielding him from press inquiries? Why did he appear with a co-worker in the Ellen interview rather than solo? Why did Ellen ask only leading softball questions? Why have so many people gone to so much trouble to shape the story of Jesus Campos? ABC spoke to Campos on October 4th. Was he in Mexico when they talked to him? Did they know where he was when they talked to him? What do we actually know about Jesus Campos? For example, is he really a licensed security guard? We checked today, and it turns out he's not registered with the state of Nevada's Private Investigators Licensing Board. Confused by this, we called the Clark County Sheriff to find out what license is required to be a security guard at a Las Vegas casino. The sheriff's office refused to tell us this. Jesus Campos is a victim, the spokesman said. We don't speak about victims. Naturally, we repeated the question. He became angry, he started yelling, and ultimately hung up on us. Which raises the question, why won't authorities answer basic questions about Jesus Campos? And here are a few more. Does Jesus Campos have a criminal record? Not attacking him. It's an honest and obvious question. What exactly did he do for the hotel? Had he ever had previous contact with Stephen Paddock? How exactly was Campos injured? Countless press reports claim he was shot in the leg with a rifle round from an AR-15 style rifle, probably a NATO 5.56 round. That bullet travels at 3 times the speed of a handgun round. It could easily destroy a man's leg and often does. Given that, how could Campos possibly have driven 700 miles from Las Vegas to the Mexican border and back less than a week later? And then there's Stephen Paddock, the shooter. We still know essentially nothing about him. Even the most basic questions about his behavior remain unanswered, such as, how did he get access to the hotel's freight elevator? How many other hotel guests had that access? Does surveillance video from the casino show Paddock entering the elevator alone or with others? Had he used that elevator before? If so, how often and why was he using that elevator? More broadly, had Stephen Paddock ever previously appeared on the radar of the FBI. Here was a man gambling millions of dollars and stockpiling weapons and ammunition. His name was all over federal databases. Nobody in law enforcement noticed him? We learned today that Paddock's computer is missing its hard drive. Why did it take nearly a month for investigators to tell us that? Did they just find out themselves? We don't know. What do we really know about Paddock or his family? His brother was recently arrested on child pornography charges. Was that part of a separate investigation? Was it related to this case? How many family members does he have exactly? Was he in regular contact with them? Did they have any reason to believe he was planning an attack? And by the way, where's his girlfriend? We could go on. The point is, this story gets murkier by the day, and that is the opposite of what is supposed to happen. It's impossible to know exactly what is going on with the Vegas shooting. We're not going to speculate. But it's obvious that there is lying and incompetence at the heart of it.
Well, thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Jesus Campos, victim or suspect? Let me know what you think.